peeps, welcome back to another video. This time it's another story video. I want to tell the story about the first and only time I got the dreaded virus. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it because there's some YouTube videos that are really sensitive to saying the name of it, so, but yeah. You guys will probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so, the only time that I've gotten it was 2 years after it first, was announced or released, I guess, if that makes sense. Where basically, where I live, we basically were, the shutdown was around March of 2020, where I lived. So, but I surprisingly did not get the virus at all. I have a very strong immune system and I'm very thankful for it. However, 2 years after it first was released, or whatever, I was, actually moving into the place that I live in right now, and the problem was, it was a few days before I had to move out, so I was already packing my stuff and getting ready to go. It was the last day of that work week, I remember. I was working that day, and then that morning, it started with just a slight headache, and I thought I was like dehydrated or something, because usually that's a very common symptom and that's normal. And I was like, oh, I'll drink some water with my breakfast, and I did, and then I went to work. About an hour or so later, it started to get worse, and so I tried taking Tylenol or a headache medicine, and it did nothing, if not get slightly worse. So I was like, this is not good, and I felt my head, I started getting warm, and I was like, this is not good, and then I just continued working, and I was like, this isn't right. I'm just really tired, so I'm just gonna drink water and then go home and go to bed. That's not what happened at all. Later that day, near halfway into my shift, after my lunch break, I literally remember just literally walking back to my desk, and then suddenly it hit me immediately. Just everything from head to toe, just pain, and the best way I can describe it was a period cramp, but everywhere. It hurt to move anything at all. I literally remember laying on the bathroom floor because it was cold and it felt really good, and I was like, I don't want to move because it hurts to move. It hurts to do anything, and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I do not know if I can wait out the rest of the shift. So I basically left work early because I knew, I was like, if it continues like this, I cannot work. So I left early, and I came home, and I felt so much worse. I got home, I was laying on the middle of my living room floor, shivering but sweating, in a blanket, like literally shaking. And I was like, this is awful. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I have such a terrible headache, and everything hurts. And I did not know what to do. I called my boyfriend, and I asked him, I was like, can you please come over? Like, just bring medicine, food, or something. I do not feel good at all. So he brought me some food for dinner because I didn't eat anything. He brought me dinner, and he brought me some, like, I don't remember if it was like cough drops or if he brought cough syrup or some form of medicine. I don't remember what it was. And he brought some, like, he brought something else. I think it was like water or something. Or electrolytes, that's what it was. His parents gave him electrolytes to give me. Like those electrolyte flavored water drinks. And he saw it and he was like, oh, you do not look good. Are you okay? I was like, no, I'm not okay. I tried to eat some food and immediately I threw it up, and I was like, this is not good at all. And he was like, did you just throw up? I was like, yeah. I like rarely throw up from like eating a lot of food and stuff because I eat like 3 to 4 times a day, which is I think the normal, but I didn't eat any dinner that day, so I was like, I think I'm kind of hungry, and then I tried to eat and I immediately threw it up, and I was like, okay, something's not right. I do not think it's like a flu or the flu or something. So I was like, oh no. And then my boyfriend was like, you should probably get tested. And I was like, do you think you could take me to get tested tomorrow? And he was like, yeah, I'll take you tomorrow to get tested. And he said that he had to go home. He couldn't stay with me that night. At the time I was living with my sister, but she was with her boyfriend, I think, because I don't remember that she was. Oh, no, wait, no, she just moved out previously, so there was a short period of time where I was living at my old place by myself, because I used to live with my sister, and she was already living in her own place with her boyfriend, so I was like, okay, I'll just take a lot of medicine, and I'm gonna go to bed, just watch some YouTube videos, and just fall asleep, because I cannot. I gotta do some packing tomorrow, and there's no way I can do it tonight. And he was like, okay. And then, I love that man so much, but god damn it, he made the stupidest decision that night. He kissed me on the lips when I told him not to, because I was like, the one way to pass that sickness is through saliva, and you're seriously gonna kiss me? He was like, let me kiss you goodbye. I was like, do not do it. You will regret it. Do not kiss me. I'm sick. I do not feel good. And he was like, you're worth it, trying to be cute and shit, which it was kind of cute, but then he blamed me for getting him sick. And I'm like, you fucking dumbass. I told you not to kiss me. So don't blame me. So he kissed me and then he went home. The next day, he came over and he was sick. He had like a sore throat and a stuffy nose and a slight fever, and he's like, God, I don't feel good. You gave me the sickness. I was like, bitch, you kissed me. Like, what? But the next day, I felt so much worse. My fever was a little worse. My body hurt even more. I could barely get out of bed. I was like, you have to help me get to the car. And he was like, okay. Put on our masks. I grabbed my purse. I don't think I even changed out of my pajamas or anything. We just got in the car and we left. And we went and got tested. And I think it was later that day or early the next day, we got our results and it was positive. So we're like, fuck. So I sat there and I was like, God damn it. I got the virus. Now what? And I laid in bed. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It wasn't like, I wasn't worried about work because I could use my paid time off or something like that. It wasn't my job that I was most worried about because I could use my paid time off and all that stuff. It was the fact that I had to move out of that house in literally 2 days. I was freaking out because I still had stuff to pack. I still had to clean I had to clean some areas still. And I had to head to the place that I live in now and get everything there. I had to be out of that house. And I was in no condition to do that. So I literally was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And I asked my boyfriend, I was like, I know you're sick, but you are in a slightly worse or slightly better position than I am. I am begging you, I need your help. Plus, we can also, like, take this time we need to quarantine together because otherwise, because we're both sick, we can't spread this, you know? So we're gonna have to make the most of it. And he, dead ass, was like, no, I think it's better if I go home. Which doesn't make sense to me because he wanted to go home to his parents' house and he was gonna get them sick. I understand if he didn't want to help me move. But logically, wouldn't it make a little more sense if you quarantine with the person that got you sick so you guys can get better together, better than, like, spreading it? But no, he just wanted to go home because he wanted his video games. He didn't want to stay with me. So I was like, God damn it. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? So I was like, fine, you can go home. He basically quarantined in his room. And I was freaking out. because I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? So I tried to do my very best to pack as much as I could, just throw anything in boxes at that point, not organize anything, just threw what I could. And it was rough because, especially, it was like most of my medicine was in boxes. The food I had to put in boxes the next day. And I couldn't even rest and relax fully because every 5 minutes I tried to do dishes, I tried to sweep, I tried to throw stuff in boxes. Every 5 minutes I tried walking around doing that stuff. I literally had to sit back down because it hurt to do anything, and I was so dizzy from standing up for a short period of time. I had to sit back down. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, my mattress was on the freaking floor. I couldn't even relax. I couldn't just take the time to get better. And it was rough. It was really hard. And it did not make it any easier that, obviously, since it was not just any cold, it was the freaking virus, nobody wanted to be by me. No one wanted to be there. Which I kind of understand, but me personally, if it was somebody really close to me, I wouldn't care about getting sick. If they needed me, if they were in a position like that, I would do what I could to help them, you know? Which really sucked. So what happened was, I did have one of my friends, eventually I convinced my boyfriend and he did come and help me later. And one of my friends, I got a U-Haul through my big stuff, like my furniture and stuff in that. And my friend didn't care. He still came and he helped me. Like, he helped me move everything in like a few hours, which is crazy. He brought his cousin to help too, which was so awesome. I literally was on the verge of tears. I was like, thank you so much for being the only friend that helped me. And, which was amazing. So I literally bought him lunch and stuff, and we just hung out for a little bit, and then he went home. And then the very last day I had to be out of that house, there were still some boxes and there was still some dirt that I had to clean. I was still in the same condition that I was the day before, and I just could not do it. I literally woke up feeling almost defeated. And my sister obviously was like, I don't want to be in the same building as you. I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Nobody wanted to be near me to help me. So I was like, how the hell am I gonna move the rest of it by myself if I don't even have the strength to move one box? So I had to think about it, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So after thinking for an hour and eating breakfast, I was like, you know what? I literally spent $100 on a same-day mover that was going to come over later that day to help me move everything else. But then my sister was like, you know what, no, I'll come over after work, I'll clean the rest of the house, just take what you can, put it in your car, and take it to your place, and we'll get everything situated, and then come back and take what you can, and we'll take everything else in our car. And I was like, okay. So I did. And since she was at work, I only took what I could, and I spent the rest of that day waiting for her to get off work, so I rested. I tried to unpack my food, and I tried to take as much medicine as I could, and I tried taking a nap. I still couldn't relax fully because my bed was still not fully, nothing was set up, obviously, because everything was in boxes. So once she got off, she gave me the last of my stuff and left it at my doorstep, which was good. And I spent the next few days, still, the rest of that week, I stayed home, living in a place just filled with boxes because I did not have the energy to unpack, until I waited for the pain to go away so I could stand long enough to start opening stuff. Which took a little while, but I managed to do it. But it still sucked, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. That next week I went back to work and I started feeling much better, which was great. So that's pretty much the story of the one time I got the virus. makes me sad still thinking about it, because again, being in that position, especially if you're like, it's one thing if you're just sick in general, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But the fact that I couldn't even rest fully or relax is what really got me. I couldn't take time to take care of myself because I had to leave like immediately, and I had to set everything up because I couldn't even. Sushi! God damn it. One sec. Sorry about that, my freaking cat. So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I was saying that basically it really sucks, but again, if one of my close friends or somebody was in that position, I would still help them because they're weak and I guess vulnerable, but I don't know if that's the right word, but they're not in a healthy state to be able to do stuff like that, and I don't wish anybody to be in that kind of position because it fucking sucks. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I post all kinds of random shit like this, stories, reactions, all kind of stuff like that. And leave in the comments what video I should react to or what video you guys want me to do next. So, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.